The sight of 17-year-old Leo being led away in handcuffs while his mother screamed at the police officers is something I'll never forget. Brenda Miller stood there in her perfectly pressed blazer, with her HOA president badge gleaming in the afternoon sun, her face red with fury as she jabbed her finger at Officer Davis. Before we continue, tell us where in the world are you watching from? Drop it in the comments below, and if you enjoy this story, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more powerful content like this. You can't do this. I run this neighborhood. I know your captain. She shrieked with a voice that could shatter glass. Leo just smirked over his shoulder at the gathering crowd of neighbors, his cocky expression unchanged, even with his hands cuffed behind his back. "This is all a mistake," he called out with the same arrogant tone he'd used for weeks. "My mom will have me out in an hour." The neighbors, who'd spent months afraid to cross Brenda, were now peering from behind their curtains and front doors, watching justice finally catch up to the family that had terrorized Crestwood Estates for far too long. But let me back up a few weeks to when all this started. I just moved into this pristine suburban neighborhood with its manicured lawns and strict HOA rules posted on every corner. At first, I thought I'd hit the jackpot with my new house on Oak Street until my packages started disappearing. It began innocently enough. I'd order something online, and the tracking would show delivered, but nothing would be on my porch when I got home from work. I figured it was just delivery mix-ups or maybe porch pirates from outside the neighborhood. After all, this was supposedly one of the safest communities in the city, with Brenda Miller's iron-fisted HOA keeping everything in perfect order. The third time it happened, I decided to ask my neighbor, Mrs. Garcia, if she'd seen anything unusual. She was trimming her rose bushes when I walked over, and her face immediately grew nervous when I mentioned the missing packages. "Oh, dear," she whispered, glancing around as if someone might be listening. "You should really check with the Miller boy. I've seen him walking around the neighborhood quite a bit lately." She wouldn't say more, but the way she looked toward the big house at the end of the street told me everything I needed to know. That evening, I invested in a doorbell camera and waited. 2 days later, I had my answer. The footage was crystal clear, showing Leo Miller casually strolling up my walkway in broad daylight, snatching my package like he was picking up his own mail, and walking away without a care in the world. He even had the audacity to whistle while he did it. I watched the video 3 times, my blood pressure rising with each viewing. This wasn't some desperate kid stealing food. This was the HOA president's son treating the neighborhood like his personal shopping mall. I marched straight to the Miller house, package theft evidence loaded on my phone, ready for what I thought would be a simple conversation between reasonable adults. Brenda opened the door wearing her usual power suit and that condescending smile she reserved for people she considered beneath her station. "Well, hello there, new neighbor," she said with false sweetness. "What can I do for you today?" When I explained about the stolen packages and showed her the video, her expression shifted from fake friendly to ice cold in seconds. "That's quite an accusation you're making," she said, her voice dropping to a dangerous whisper. "And frankly, I find it insulting that you'd come to my home making wild claims about my son." I tried to stay calm and reasonable, explaining that I had clear video evidence and just wanted my packages returned and the theft to stop. Brenda's response was to cross her arms and give me that look she probably practiced in the mirror, the one designed to make people back down and apologize. Leo is an honor student and captain of his debate team, she said with the tone of someone explaining basic facts to a child. He would never stoop to petty theft. Perhaps you should look more carefully at your delivery confirmation emails before making accusations. Then came the threat wrapped in HOA speak. I'd suggest you choose your battles very carefully in this neighborhood. As president of the Homeowners Association, I take false accusations against residents very seriously, especially when they target outstanding young people like my son. The thefts didn't stop. They escalated. Over the next week, Leo grew bolder, taking packages in broad daylight and even having the nerve to wave at my camera once. When I caught him red-handed, walking away with my neighbor's delivery, I called out to him from across the street. His response chilled me to the bone. "Hey, mister," he said with a smirk that matched his mother's arrogance. "My mom runs this whole neighborhood. I'm basically untouchable here. Maybe you should think about moving somewhere else if you don't like how things work in Crestwood Estates." The kid actually laughed as he walked away with stolen property, completely confident that his mother's position would protect him from any consequences. That's when I realized this wasn't just about package theft. This was about a family that believed they were above the law because of a petty neighborhood title. I started reaching out to other neighbors, and what I discovered was both shocking and infuriating. The Patels had lost 4 packages in the past month. The Jacksons were missing a birthday gift for their daughter. Even elderly Mr. Henderson had his medication stolen from his porch. Every single person I talked to had suspected Leo but was too afraid of Brenda's retaliation to say anything. She can make life very difficult if you cross her. Mrs. Garcia explained when I asked why nobody had reported it. Last year, she tried to fine the Lees $500 because their grass was half an inch taller than HOA regulations. I convinced 6 neighbors to join me in documenting Leo's activities and gathering evidence. We set up a group chat and started coordinating our observations. Within 3 days, we had Leo on multiple cameras stealing packages from houses across the entire neighborhood. The evidence was overwhelming, showing a clear pattern of theft that had been going on for months. Armed with this proof, I requested a meeting with the HOA board to present our case and demand action. Brenda's response was swift and predictable. She scheduled a meeting for a Tuesday morning when most working people couldn't attend, then spent the entire session dismissing our evidence as doctored videos and coordinated harassment against her family. This is clearly a personal vendetta by residents who don't appreciate the high standards I've worked to maintain in this community. She declared to the 3 board members who'd shown up, all of them her longtime supporters. When I tried to play the video evidence, she ruled it inadmissible and threatened to fine anyone who continued what she called defamatory behavior. The meeting was a complete sham, but it taught me an important lesson about dealing with corrupt, petty tyrants. You can't beat them by playing within their rigged system. You have to go around them entirely. That evening, I gathered all our evidence, organized it into a comprehensive report, and drove straight to the police station.